sea. And police have named a 12-year-old boy who died in a road accident in Suffolk. Luke Reed from London was one of 4 people in a Land Rover which overturned on an unnamed road in Peasenhall near Saxmundham on Friday evening.
The owners of Stansted Airport BAA lost more than £820 million last year. The company blamed its pre-tax losses on a drop in passenger numbers, one-off pension charges and the sale of Gatwick Airport. BAA is still locked in a legal battle with the Competition Commission, who say they must also sell Stansted Airport.
What's thought to be Britain's smallest cafe has opened in Norwich.
The Window Cafe on Wensom Street is so tiny it only seats 5 people. Now it's up against a cafe in Denmark for the title of the world's smallest, as Serena Sandu now reports.
On first sight, this cafe doesn't look much different to any other you may choose to pop into. But once inside, you'll see it's on a much smaller scale, and in just 4 steps, you've walked the length of the place. It was the brainchild of owner Hayley Draper who took her dream of a mobile coffee cart one stage further.
I happened to be walking past one day looking for a plant pot, saw the shop, saw the potential, and yeah, just thought maybe an open space where the counter's up against the wall and there's no barriers, bringing people together.
There's only room for a 4-seater bench and a stool, but for its customers, what it lacks in size, it makes up for in charm.
I like the fact that it's so small that it forces people to be intimate.
Everyone who comes in could be a stranger, but then when they go out, you've probably made a friend.
I'm a quirky and unusual person myself, so I seek out the quirky and unusual.
One customer's even written a song about the cafe.
Strangers become friends over a
So, a place of reflection, conversation and song. It may be small in scale, but it's certainly big in character. Serena Sandu, Anglia News, Norwich.
Smallest cafe. Of course, Bury St Edmunds got the smallest pub, the Nutshell. What next? Sport now. Norwich City are to appeal against Darryl Russell's sending off against Southampton at the weekend.
More on that coming up, but we start our roundup in the Championship, where Ipswich answered their critics with a vital win, as Donovan Blake now reports.
Footballers are always told to hit the target when through on goal, but in the league games involving the region's clubs, some players took that advice too literally. It makes you wonder how much the scoreline would have changed for Ipswich at Sheffield Wednesday, for instance. Carlos Edwards' stunning strike won the game for them, but the woodwork came to their aid after they scored and then denied them a more comprehensive victory.
It's going to be a tough battle between now and the rest of the season, but as I said, we've got enough quality. What we need now is to, in terms of rolling our sleeves up, grinding out results.
The woodwork also saved Norwich from a heavier League One defeat than they suffered against Southampton. The crossbar didn't help them here, this the first of Lee Barnard's 2 goals on the day. But the biggest concern to manager Paul Lambert was this challenge which earned Darryl Russell a red card. Norwich are appealing the decision, but won't know the answer until tomorrow lunchtime.
The sending off, as I said at the time, Saturday was really poor, and we will do everything we can to appeal it, and the defeat was happening.
2 moments of fortune for Colchester, as Oldham were twice denied by the frame of the goal, but it's all about getting the ball in the goal, which Danny Bath was able to achieve to earn the years a big win. And a clear sign for Southend that when your luck's out, your luck's out. A goal down at MK Dons, this Simon Francis free kick could have brought them level. The post intervened and 1-0 later became 3-0. At least Matt Patterson had the final say, but the Shrimpers stayed deep in trouble. Donovan Blake, Anglia News.
And one of the region's best-known holiday names, Ho Seasons, has been sold to an American hotel firm for nearly £39 million. The boating, holiday and self-catering specialist has its headquarters in Lowestoft. It employs around 280 staff. Ho Seasons current owners HG Capital bought the firm in 2003, but now an American company is taking it over. Well, next, the severe winter weather that just refuses to go away. It has been horrible, hasn't it?
Where's spring, eh? In a moment, we'll hear from Hannah Pettifer on how the snow's affected transport and the schools in the west of our region.
But first, Lorna Ramsey reports from the Essex village of Rawreth, near Wickford, where rain and melting snow have caused severe flooding today.
Watery Lane in Rawreth near Wickford certainly lived up to its name today. This was the devastating result to Jamie Prattley's garden when ditches nearby burst their banks.
I looked out the kitchen window and I could see like a brown wave coming towards me. I had to look twice because I thought, is that water or not? Realised it was, and then within seconds, obviously my garden was flooded. It's gutting. It looks like a disaster zone. We've lost a lot of toys for other children. Yeah, no, it's upsetting, very upsetting.
And when this area was flooded, 5 vehicles were left stranded in the water. 4 fire engines were called here at just after 8:30 this morning. They had to use an inflatable boat to rescue 5 people who were trapped inside. While we were filming, one driver decided to try his luck in the floodwater, but he soon realised there was no use. Jamie is preparing herself for more rain. She's hoping sandbags will be delivered soon so she can make sure the water doesn't get inside her home. Lorna Ramsey, Anglia News, Rawreth.
Another story of commuter misery. Hundreds were stuck on the region's roads this morning thanks to a combination of heavy snow, roadworks and the return to school. Those travelling on the M1 were particularly badly hit.
Put an extra hour onto our journey, I'd say. Visibility is quite poor.
Yeah, we're taking it a bit easier than perhaps we normally would do.
Yeah.
Everywhere's gridlocked, so I've had a pretty horrendous journey today.
A severe weather warning was issued for the east of England, with some regions seeing up to 6 centimetres of snow. In Hertfordshire, the A505 from Hitchin to Luton was closed until 1 o'clock after a number of cars skidded in the snow. A busy morning also for those working at Traffic Master in Cranfield.
You had a lot of problems on local roads, you had problems on the M11, problems out through Cambridge on the A14, had a culmination of traffic, rush hour traffic, people heading back to school today, and it kind of all came together at the same time.
But it wasn't just the roads affected by the snow. Luton Airport had to be closed for most of the morning, as were a small number of schools across the region. With overnight temperatures struggling to reach more than freezing, drivers are being warned to take extra care on the roads, with those hazardous driving conditions making a return tonight. Hannah Pettifer, Anglia News, Northampton.
Well, with a weather watch in place for the next 3 days, the fear is that we're still not over the worst. Amanda joins us now. Come on then, what can we expect, Amanda?
Well, I'm afraid it's looking rather complicated over the next few days. As you mentioned there, the Met Office are keeping a close eye on the region, as we are expecting more of this type of weather, I'm afraid. In fact, over the next few days, we have one low pressure after another crossing the UK, and that's bringing very unsettled weather with it. So there's a combination of rain, sleet or snow tomorrow, but it looks like heavy rain is on the cards for Wednesday and Thursday. In some places, could see up to 40 millimetres. That's over 1.5 inches, which again could lead to some localised flooding, so we will keep you up to date with any developments on that, and obviously I'll be back later with the rest of the details.
Thank you, Amanda. I suppose it still is February, isn't it?
Just, yeah.
Now, it's an